This is reality with partiality. I am yours truly, Percy A. Lewis, aka Partiality, which means one of a kind. And my co-host,
So you dropped us now.
your name.
Yes. What happened? You dropped us now. Your internet dropped. Ivan Williams. I'm here, and a pleasant good morning to each and everyone. My brother,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Percy. How
I,
are you?
Ivan,
Mhm.
how can a child be the one of a kind, indivisible individual that God has created him or her to be, if the parents are there raising the child as if though it were cattle, instead of nurturing and inspiring the child so that she loves the discipline of making his or her own bed, learning his or her way around the darn kitchen and yard, so that with time the discipline grows into resilience. Children are not your property. Parenting ends at birth, man, after which nurturing had to begin. They are the only beings God created. I mean, human beings. Being means we are born already knowing how to be, how we think and feel, and in mature time, Ivan, what we want for an ambitious career. It is wrong-headed to want a child to become like you or me, to learn from our mistakes. It is cruel, in my view, to tell an individual child, become like your brother, become like your sister. Let the child be. Let him or her blossom into becoming the very best version of him or herself, one of a kind self. Ivan, how ridiculous would it be for you to ask a tree or a dog what it wants to be? Huh? Do they have a free will to make a choice, even a choice? All a dog or a tree wants is to become a full-fledged tree, huh? Because they come with a ceiling. On the other hand, human beings only have a bottom line, my brother. Like all living creatures and things, a date of birth and a date of expiration. The definition and boundary of time, yeah, as well as a shoulder width and a height, the boundaries of space. You're dropping, but I'm going to continue. So, for everything in the physical created universe comes with boundaries, boundaries beyond which we cannot grow. So, likened to a tree or dog, what is wrong for a child, yeah, for the human being to become a full-fledged human being? Huh? That's all. That's all. Just like a tree or dog, a human being, all they should want, a parent should want for that child is for the child to become a full-fledged human being. What is wrong with that? Instead of inoculating and attempting to brainwash. Yes. So then, so then, th- that's what ought to be. That the individual, huh? Thanks for coming back. Um, wait, this thing is say, put you back on stage, Ivan, but you're blacking out. You're there on stage, but you're blacked out. But anyway, you're on the stage. I don't know why you're blacked out. But I'm gonna continue with the presentation and we're gonna resolve. Yeah. Reboot, Ivan, reboot. If you're there listening. So, what I'm saying, there you go. I'm seeing you now. So like I'm for a child, for the for the child, the human being to become a full-fledged human being. You're gone again, but we can't study that, man. Time is money. When that's what she ought to be, that the individual child not become a copycat, chasing after a so-called gold standard. So the child needs to find his or her niche and blossom into the very best version of him or herself. So, so to become fulfilled for a human being is impossible through physical means. Yeah, because the heart is only full until it encounters something or someone more appealing, Yeah. And as for the mind, even if she crushes all the libraries and pong them into his or her head, hmm, there will always remain something more for him or her to learn. Therefore, whereas you can become completely empty or by dispossessing and abandoning, you can never become completely full. Notwithstanding, the nature of the intellect is to yearn to go out of bounds, to grow and expand limitlessly. I am saying that in that context, fulfillment means to live a full-fledged life, to bring body, mind, and spirit under one roof. Yeah, yeah. Have your body and energy system as your two back wheels, your thought and emotion at the front, constantly bringing those front wheels into alignment. You know why? The two at the back are already wanting to live. They are going in direction. But those two front wheels start an emotion. In the moment you either become bitter, hmm, angry, envious, or hateful, and the like, you are in effect saying, yeah, you're in effect saying you want to die, which is sending mixed messages then to your system, wanting to live in one moment and in the next wanting to die. Huh? So, Ivan, you're listening off air perhaps, right? Become a better and better version of yourself every day. Distinguish yourself by continuing to make the right choices, by choosing what to respond to from among the things entering your inbox, the calls that you answer and follow through, the causes that you support, and how you interface with the local, geo, and global politics. Look, you make these choices from decisions having to be made as you face the pressures of life. It is easier to respond to them whenever you are joyful. Yeah, you don't say this is who I am. You don't set a value system. You remain joyful, always being in a relaxed state of mind. That's what intense, not tense on the inside. Like, you carry a full battery pack, living as if though today were going to be your last day. Ivan, you're messaging me, but I'm in a role. I can't multitask that right now. I'm focusing on what I'm doing. Excuse me. Just try to come back into the system, and I will put you on the screen. Reboot. So as I was saying, be conscious and not compulsive. Be caring. Be caring. Yeah. Be caring without getting down on yourself. So, what are the things that help to define Ivan? A person of integrity, wanting for others the same things he wants for himself, trading in his ID badges for a universal identity. Don't be robotic, my brother. Be a real person. The name of the show is Reality with Partiality. Reality is what comes naturally. Ivan, if you have to invent it, then it's a lie. It's either a lie or a story. So be a real person, neither pre-cook nor make believe. Be one who is in pursuit of a lifelong journey that is filled with memorable experiences. Be neither a set personality or character, and you could have more than one of personalities, yeah, altering them to suit. But why not just be a presence? For God is a presence. God is a spirit that you cannot see. So all God is a presence. A presence is far more powerful than a personality. If the room is white, become that, only making timely interventions and meaningful interventions. So I myself, I am neither a follower, no, I am partiality, one of a kind. I don't look up to anyone, nor am I better than anyone. But no one is also better than me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So I see people through a plain mirror, and that's how they want how to see me. Just the way I am, I see people just the way they are. I don't live holding on to promises from politicians. Neither should you. No. I want them to give me a promissory note. So yeah, because The way politics has gone into the mud and the gutter these days, my friend. Huh. You handshake now and cut it. Hmm? You need it in writing. So I am neither a believer nor a follower. I am partiality, one of a kind. I don't live holding on to promises from politicians, like I said. Um, politicians are able to um, politicians are able to sell hope, not religion. Politicians are able to sell hope. Hope of owning a new home by age 30, hope of having good roads and bridges infrastructure, i.e., hope of having affordable education, hope of to keep us safe while we sleep at night and secure, hope to end this damn Guatemala dispute by December of this year, favoring Belize, not one damn blade of bloody grass to Guatemala, zero for Guatemala because it's a zero-sum game. And out of this, I am not one of those whose significance or lack thereof is determined by those giving out special achievement and hero awards, knighthood and the like. Man, I chart my own course, and I think you are the same. One of a kind. That's who we are. Everybody is being holistic. Yeah. I'm doing an inner engineering by we're doing inner engineering with the ground component and the way. That's what we'll be having. We'll have a ground component to what we are doing here. So people can come for therapy. Yeah. And the online. So they can call in to consult. That is coming very soon. So I went and capping up, and then we have time for a little chit chat Q&A. I don't want to be like anyone else. I don't believe in role models. I am here to become the very best version of myself. Partiality. I have found my niche, Ivan. This is it right here. Let people come in. We won't discriminate. Make the presentation without interruption. And based on what they present, we're going to cross-examine them. Yeah? And that's about it. They don't need to be on no gold standard or no hierarchical ladder. They just need to be themselves in reality. Athletes talk about getting in a zone. Look, just keep your humanity lit. I am always inspired. Ivan, sometimes I'm rolling out 3 messages a day. But now that we have this show, we have to take some time to answer questions, to take calls and so on, to do some consultancy online. That's it. So the staff, the staff has to help with other things. So I'm inspired. I don't just get in a zone. I stay inspired 24/7. I keep within me right here, right? I stay meditated, consecrated, right? I have an altar here within myself. And I'm looking out as we speak now. I'm getting some fresh air. I'm looking at the natural, trees, etc. The birds are chirping. And so that's how I keep my space, with incense, stones, dust, yeah, consecrated, and not only here in my studio, but in the yard, in the neighborhood. Consecrate your spaces is what I recommend. You're hearing me, my brother? Consecrate your spaces. It is not confidence that people need, Ivan. It's clarity. Confidence is purely psychological. Clarity is seeing the clear path ahead of you. And you get there, with good preparation, adequate preparation. Yeah. So, my brother, that is the long and short of it. If you have, concerns or comments, let's have them. Hello. I even make a mention no internet troubles. I just you hearing me? Look like Ivan not to hear me. So Ivan, if you're not there, I'm sorry. I'm seeing you, but we're not hearing you. So I just have to go ahead and talk to myself. And if you're out there, listening audience, if you're out there, right, you just make your comments. Ivan, the red
Yes,
one, I've been
yes,
asking
man.
you, I finished the presentation, I've been asking if you have any comments.
What happened is that
No, no, explain, man. Just get into the meat of the matter. Hello. Just, hello. Just get into the presentation. You have any comments or you didn't hear it? I want to freeze every minute.
yeah, there's some little glitches happening, and the presentation was not seamless in terms of
Yeah, got you.
hearing all of it, right?
Yeah.
But yes, but yeah, you said a mouthful there, and I think one of the most important thing I would like to ask you is,
Freeze
a lot of
again.
things coming to you every day.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're freezing up, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's
Lot of things coming today. What is the question?
the question is, how do you make the choices? A lot of things are coming your way every day, and you need to have some way of selecting what you're going to address, or out of all the things that are around you, what choices you're going to make.
Okay,
So
let me
could
just
you
say this to
expound on
you.
that?
Yes, let me just say this to you.
How to go about making choices?
Yes, I heard the question. You don't prioritize. No, you deal with what's immediately in front of you. And you treat whoever is in front of you as the most important thing or person you're dealing with. You remain joyful and you have inspiration. As a devotee to spirituality, you always have inspiration. So you just be. A human being already knows how to be. You don't preempt, you don't ambush, you just be. So that's how. Good preparation, there is no substitute for that. There is no substitute for good preparation. So as an attorney, as a labor consultant, nobody should be able to do what you do better than you, Huh? Hello? Especially with the labor consultant after being the labor commissioner for so many years, and you're keeping your pencil sharp, right? Because like me, I used to do climate change, but I get rusty. I know to keep that pencil sharp, but I'm sharp in the other areas. So I have 4 or 5 competencies, but climate change has gotten rusty, because like when you know first aid, every year you have to take one remedial. So anyway, audience, let's cut it there. Okay, we're going to end it early today. Thanks for joining us. Be free to ask your questions, and like we're offering there, stay tuned.